Hello. Okay, so this is block one of our hip opening home workout. It's going to be a combination of agility work and stretches. So you're not really going to need anything but a mat and some form of a strap. If you have a yoga strap, perfect. If you don't, right here, this is the tie from my my robe. But you can use a scarf, you can use a cloth belt. You just want something that's going to be long enough that you can wrap around your limbs and relax your upper body. So this is a really long one, so it's perfect. Anyway, so let's get right to it, shall we? So you're going to begin on your mat. Put your feet wider than hips width apart. And now we're going to be doing an agility movement for 1 minute. So on the beat, I want you to lower into a squat. You lean forward as far as you can to get your fingertips on the ground. Step back with the right foot into a lunge. Step forward and lift the spine. Switch sides into a lunge. Step into that squat and just sort of arch the back slightly. So what we are doing, we're releasing the hip flexors by stepping back into a lunge and then releasing the lower back slightly in that arch. So it's perfectly fine to lean forward in this squat. You're not dropping the hips back too far. So no matter what your hip flexibility is, it should be okay. Press back, exhale. Now if you notice when you're stepping back into the lunge, you're pressing back through that heel. Come back into that squat. Switch sides. Again into that squat. Look forward, step back. Into that squat one more time and step forward. Good. Now what I want you to do is just straighten your legs, come all the way up to tabletop. Make sure I'm in this picture. Good. Place your hands on your upper thigh, slightly bend your knees and decompress the lower back by pressing, creating length in the spine. And I want you to lift your toes and breathe. Try and relax your belly. 4, 3, 2, 1. Back down into your squat, fingertips on the ground. Step back, drop the knee down, lift the knee, step back into your squat. Switch sides, step back, drop the knee down, come back. Good. So we're getting into those hip flexors. Knee down, lean, good. So you're not holding this for too long, we're just sending a little blood, warming up the joints. Good. Notice too that when you're lowering that back knee down, turn the top foot under, lean, I guess into your hip flexor a little bit more. Down, lean, try and relax the tummy. Down, lean. Again. In your squat. Okay, go ahead and grab your strap. Place it on the ground, step on it, put it in the arch. And I want you to catch a hold and straighten out your spine. So what you're trying to do is not round that lower back. Pull yourself out of your lower back and lift the toes. Breathe. Try and challenge this by walking your hands down that strap, keeping that lower back. Good. Exhale. All right. Step your feet nice and wide. Now in this one, you may need to hold on to a chair, but you're going to bend your leg, tip back, touch the ground, and come back up. Switch sides. So what you're actually trying to do is lower as far as you can, come back up. You're not letting your knee pass the toe, you're shifting back into the hips. You can come all the way down, come down. Now it's perfectly fine if it looks like this, but the goal is to get all the way down. Tall spine, come back up, down, come back up, down. So you're going as far as you can. When you come down, you're shifting that toe up. Back up, down. Now in some cases you may need to have a chair in front of you and you're holding on as you lower. That's perfectly fine. And forward bend. Now again, place your fingertips on the ground, and you're doing that same arch of the spine that you did looking forward. So straight from the side. You're arching that lower back, you're sticking the tailbone up in the air. Drop your chin to neutral. Good. Come back into that wide stance. Do that again, except you're going to lower down, come up on the toe, come back down, press back up, switch sides. Now if this is too much, you can repeat the first, where you're just lowering down and going back up. This gets a little bit of calves in there. That was a bad rep. Up, down, up. You can put your fingertips on the ground just like that too. And up. Up. And up. And up. Good. Come back into your forward bend, and this time just tip all the way. And what you're trying to avoid is tucking your chin and trying to force yourself down. The bend is not from the middle of the back, the bend is always from the hip. So you're trying to relax your belly, let the tailbone be high, even if it means you need to keep support on the ground. You're not rounding, creating length in the spine as you bow. And breathe. Good. Alright, have a seat on your mat. Keep the strap close. Fingertips out to the side. Push your hips up. Come back down. Turn your fingers backwards. Chest is open. Press down, press up. Exhale. Come back down. Fingertips back to the side. Exhale, point the toes. Push the hips up. Come back down. Fingers forward. This one's tough. Inhale. Exhale, press through. Come back down. Switch sides. So we're just alternating through the positioning of the hands, opening the chest, strengthening the arms and the core. But it's a really, really good postural exercise. And also it helps you understand which hand placement agrees with you for certain floor exercises, because some people are very uncomfortable with the fingers back or forward. Take your strap now, wrap it around your feet. Now your spine is tall, you're pulling your shoulders back. Keep that spine tall and flex the feet. So what you're doing is you are pulling really hard because you're trying to loosen your calves and keep that spine upright. You're not pulling, you're not rounding. The goal here is rooting the back of the knees, flexing the feet, keeping the chest open. Breathe. Good. Okay, let that go for now. Now we are going to move into deeper stretches now that the heart rate is up. So let's just take a moment. Again, strap behind the feet, chest is up, and you're trying to keep that tall spine, right? Again, the bend is not from the middle, it's from the lower back. So you're keeping the belly soft and pull yourself forward, relaxing your shoulders. Keeping that long spine, and again, pulling on the feet. Breathing deeply, so you should feel this all the way up the back of the legs. Even I can get my head to my shins, but doing this variation really pulls all the way into the lower back, and that's what we're focusing on for the moment. Breathe. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Face forward for you. Let's put the bottoms of the feet together. Put that strap under your feet. Shoulder blades back and push your knees open. So this is cobbler's pose, which is kind of an upright version of the frog, which I know it is the frog, but you call something else the frog. It's an upright version of the yoga frog. Breathe, good.
Put those feet out as wide as you can, without slumping in. You want to be able to stay tall. Put that strap around one foot, and it's that same, you're pulling the belly towards the upper thigh, not pulling the head down through the hip. Spine's tall, flex both sides. 4, 3, 2, 1. And switch sides. So around the foot, pulling up out of the lower back, flexing the feet, breathe. Breathing. So many times the issue with our flexibility is that it's not necessarily the muscles we're trying to lengthen, it's how we're trying to get into the posture that's affecting how the muscles are lengthening. If you're rounding and pulling yourself into a stretch like this, you're not actually lengthening your hamstring, you're putting a lot of pressure there on that lower back. Good. Now we're going to go back into that seated forward fold, so feet together, same tall spine. Same thing we're talking about, that alignment. Pull yourself out of your lower back, walk your hands down the strap as far as you can go while keeping the back flat. So if you find that round happens in the middle, you're going too far. Come up, tall spine, and hold. So if you can find yourself keeping that tall spine, not rounding like this, pulling out of the lower back, breathe. Deep breath. So we're going to hold this one. Let me get my timer around. Good. Taking a few breaths here. So the goal is to try and relax those hamstrings in this pose. It is normal that you'll be feeling tension, but you're just trying to breathe. We're holding, holding, holding. 20 seconds. Breathe. Deep breaths, relaxing the belly. Almost there. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. This is your first block. Take a rest.